Yep, it's snakes. Stick around, I'll tell you about it. Hiya folks, Old Man Grognard here, and today we've got another module from New Big Dragon Games. This is a little trifle, but it's a nasty piece of work, and I love it. It's called the Ogress of Anubis, written by Richard J. LeBlanc Jr. It's for levels 4 to 6 for your 0E, 1E, or BX games, and clones thereof, or you can probably adapt it to any version of D&D, and that's a good thing. So what do we have here? We have a 16-page module. It's more of a kind of a side adventure thing. It's got Egyptian stuff all over it, so it would fit into any kind of desert world, I think, a desert area of places, things like that. I've got a few ideas where I want to use it already, but it's your Temple of Anubis sacrificing children, and you got to stop the High Priestess and her minions. Basically, the backstory is these two guys come over and said they kidnapped our kids to sacrifice them. Now, we've had this Temple of Anubis around here for a long time, and the guy who used to run it was kind of reasonable about it because he didn't want to sacrifice anybody who didn't want to be sacrificed, and he did it reasonably, and you know, he was very humble, things like that. His daughter, on the other hand, is a spoiled brat, and she, on top of that, she has the charming ability to control snakes. So it is expected that she killed her father with said snakes and took over her father's business because she thinks she's the incarnation of some kind of vulture goddess or something like that. I don't get the connection between vultures and snakes, but that's basically what you have to do. It's a snatch and grab mission with the kids. The temple, the only people they let in these days is her and her followers, priests, things like that. So, like I said, it kind of reminds me of something you do on the way somewhere else to do something else. And to me, it's a nice little side adventure. Let's take a look at it here. Here's some sample pages. There's the wilderness area and some encounters, things like that. It shows you the production values, always top notch from New Big Dragon Games. And here's the temple itself. I really like the maps that they give you because they give you more than you need. Now, if you notice on the left here, that's the main temple. On the right are these little pyramids that keep her treasure because she's really into the bling. And she wants to live the high life, you know, like a noble or something like that. And I'll get to those in a minute. This is a few traps, and this is the outer area right here, outside of the temple where her little pyramids are. It's got a few unique things. It's got a few unique traps. It can really mess with your mind. Well, not so much as like the other one I did, Vault of the Faceless Giants, but it's very much, you've got some Saber Dice stuff in here, so you got to watch your butt. And also you've got the time crunch too. And it gives you adventure seeds, which is nice because it kind of takes the tack of, you're probably going to play this in a sandbox, so here's a few adventure seeds after this. And we've got some, you know, he's got some interesting, and of course he gives you pre-gens, which I really love. I mean, this would really be, you know, I could grab this at a convention and say, okay, anybody want to play a pickup game? Let's do this, which is nice. Here's the, look, and he gives you extra maps. Here's some additional unkeyed maps for temples and things, which is really nice. It's becoming my catchphrase, which is really nice. And it's just got a nice little feel to it. It's got a nice little, you know, dungeon Egyptian kind of set. It's got one mummy, her old man. I mentioned the time crunch. Basically, if you don't get her in time, she's going to off the kids, and you do find the kids. So it's like I said, it's kind of a time crunch thing, and it's got some unique. I've never seen. Well, maybe there are out there. There's probably a few devious DMs do this on their own, but each little pyramid you go to, if you're going to get his treasure, it's got something you got to defeat. Like, and mostly they're mummified things, but there's one in there, the baboon god. You go in there, and if you set up the trap trying to get the treasure, everybody has to save in there or be overcome with lust and start doing the nasty to anything they can. The next living thing that the closest living thing for 1d4 turns. I'd clean that up some if I'm running with kids. I'd substitute something else. And also the guardians in these little pyramids are mummified animals. And if you remember me doing his creature compendium, that's where you get the mummy baboons, the mummy snakes, the mummy dogs, that's where they come from. And they do give you the stats in here, which is really nice. Good solid, like I said, side adventure thing, which you could build on if you want. I'm thinking, like, you're on your way, if you're sending them to like the Lost City and they're lost, they can stumble upon this. There's a few villages in here, they can stumble upon this and help the guys out. I'm thinking of using this and maybe Faceless Giants if I want to do the Sonics, or not, but I'm thinking of using this in Astonishing Swordsman on their way to I'm going to run them through the ghost ship of the Desert Dunes, and maybe the Lost City, I don't know. But first ghost ship, and I might do this to, if they're not up enough in level, I'll run the Ogress of Anubis. That'll get them up. If they're close to 4th, then I need them a little higher. And like I said, you can use it with any desert area, and where to get it. Okay, drive through RPG and RPG Now. The PDF is free. If you want to give them some money for it, the New Big Dragon Games website. The print version is $4.95. This is $4.95. Lulu, it's $5.95. And also international, I believe, is $5.95. So you can go and get that, and it's a nice thing to have in your bag. It's one of those back pocket dungeons, where if you need to run something for them or anything like that, or you got an off night where some people aren't there, and you got a side that run that, because I think that'd be like one night. That's why I said it's really short. It's one night, but it's nasty. It really is. There's a lot of snakes. Mostly, they're all asps too, and you do get once again you get a little bit of a Temple of Doom, or Sunfeld's The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy series. It kind of feels a little like that. Anyway, that's the Ogress of Anubis. So go out and get that. Let me know what do you think about it. I'll put the links down there, of course, and I love to talk to you about it or anything else at oldmangrognard@gmail.com. So until next time, bye-bye.